I think that we all saw this coming, guys. We knew that this was going to happen. The media would get freaked out about Batwoman having such a low score. And now we see that the LGBT community is also freaking out about it. They have their excuses built in as to why this TV show is getting very, very low reviews and low ratings. And of course, you know what? They're blaming straight men. This is calculated. I knew this would happen. This article here says Batwoman's audience reviews are getting trolled by straight men. And this is out.com who wrote this article here. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's kind of read this a little bit and see what they have to say. It says, now that audiences nationwide have gotten a chance to see the pilot of CW's Batwoman, we're getting the first reactions to the show, and suffice to say, something's definitely not right in Gotham. Despite having vocal fans on social media, the show is currently sitting at a 3.2 rating on IMDb and an abysmal 8% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, as Forbes was first to report. It could be that the audiences just really, really didn't like the show. You think? Have you seen that show? That show is not good. It's absolutely not good. So you're even acknowledging right here that the audience probably just really doesn't like the show, which I think is probably 99.9%. But anyway, let's continue on. It could be that audiences just really, really didn't like the show, but even if they weren't a fan of Ruby Rose's debut as Kate Kane, the numbers are very suspicious. For comparison, the final much-hated season of Game of Thrones has a 32%, 4 times better than Batwoman. Netflix's recent Lost ripoff, The Island, which one critic called the worst show I've ever seen. I haven't seen that, so has a 33% audience score. And overall, the audiences tend to be far kinder than critics, which is how the politician can wind up with a 58% critic score, but an 86% from the viewers. Okay, now this is the part that really caught my eye right here. Now that I've seen the pilot, and while the show is far from perfect, it's not Troll 2 or Jack and Jill Bad, both of which still have a similar IMDb score, while the show engages in occasional moments of cheese, such as a groan-inducing newspaper headline that reads, "We bat leave." Batwoman is no worse than any classic comic books and significantly less tonal garish than the beloved Adam West's Batman series. It's pretty on par with other superhero shows like Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow, which have significantly better audience ratings. Now, from what I hear about Supergirl I hear is completely SJW garbage. I watched a little bit of Legends of Tomorrow, but it seems like Batwoman is definitely worse than Supergirl. So I didn't actually see that. But here's the thing. Batwoman is just not a good TV show. I mean, if you're watching this show, what is there good to say about this show? There's really nothing good to say about it, in my opinion. So I just don't get it. I really, really don't get it. How can you defend this garbage? Everything about this is absolutely terrible. There was nothing good in this show to me. The villain was bad. Ruby Rose as Kate Kane was flat. Now, it just wasn't SJW garbage like the trailers, but still, don't get me wrong. This show could actually get worse as it goes on. Maybe they're saving all of the SJW stuff for later on. But even if you take out all of the SJW stuff, the story sucks. Everything about it sucks. The acting was bad. There was nothing good about it. Now, they go on here to talk about review bombing and things like that. It says a similar review bombing campaign by men happened following the debut of last year's Captain Marvel, the first solo movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to feature a female lead. Rotten Tomatoes made moves to prevent it from happening to other movies, eliminating pre-release audience scores, and removing the not interested button. Well, okay, so they stopped you from actually putting a review on something before it came out. So they fixed that, right? So if the audience score is at 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, then everything worked out, right? Because this happened only after the TV show debuted. So the score is what it is. Bill Parcells said it best. You are what your record says you are. If the audience says that this is an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, she goes on here to blame straight men. Straight men. And they just make a conclusion. They don't have any concrete evidence for it. They say Out has reached out to Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb for comment and hasn't yet heard back. But it's very clear what's going on. Straight men who consider themselves anti-SJW are doing everything they can to stand in the way of progress. You want progress, okay. So you have no concrete evidence that straight men are bashing this TV show. Because if I'm reading a review, does it mention the sexuality of the reviewer? I don't think so. So you're just making an assumption. And this is very, very dangerous right here. You shouldn't be jumping to a conclusion like that. If I'm putting a review and I say, hey, this TV show didn't work for me, it's not very good, there's no great story to it, the villain is bad, Ruby Rose isn't great in the role. So that makes me, you automatically assume that I'm a straight man if I put that on there. And that's not the case whatsoever. The CW, they didn't get off on the right foot anyway with that trailer. But to assume that it's straight men are the reason why that the score is at 8% on Rotten Tomatoes is ridiculous, because you don't know the sexuality of the person reviewing it. You just don't. Unless they say, hey, I'm a straight man and I was offended by the LGBT stuff in this TV show, that's another story. But if you look at the reviews, there's nothing like that on there whatsoever. This is just a crazy assumption, and they're just trying to build up excuses as to why this TV show is failing. And it is failing. And if there is a season 2, which I think there'll be a season 2 because it's on the CW, there's just going to be more excuses as the numbers continue to decline. And I think a lot of people were just watching this TV show for week 1 just to kind of get a feel of, okay, is it as bad as the trailer? Now, I'm willing to bet that when episode 2 comes out, I think the numbers are going to decline even more. But what do you guys think about this? Out.com assuming that straight men are the reason why this TV show is failing? I'm not buying it. I think this is just an excuse. Nothing more than an excuse. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.